Testing, testing, testing. Testing, testing, testing. If anybody's here, let me know. Yeah, it's okay. Fucking bloody technology, excuse my language. Bloody technology. Times it's fine, other times for literally no reason. Why is that mic? Why does that mic not work? I literally didn't do anything. Anyway, good that I'm coming through now. Hope everybody's well. I actually feel great today. Don't know why, but I woke up, I'm like, you know what? I feel very good today. So yeah, let's get into the markets. Morning Martin, morning Stephen. Hope you guys are all well. And let's see what we got on this Thursday morning. So, I may not be trading very well or getting many things right, but it seems to be the S&P is going maybe how we think it's going to go. Are we pushing on? Decent day yesterday. Decent day yesterday for the market. Let me get my pen up. Excuse me. Where has my pen gone? How's everybody else doing? How's everybody's trading going on? Let me know. This ain't all about me. Want to know how you guys are doing as well. Martin, I'll go through that funding company and some of your trades as well after. But yeah, decent bullish day yesterday. We've not broken these highs. We could say this is an ABC. I mean, we can say this is an ABC. B wave up here, highs up here. A break above those would be good for me. I'm actually a little bit annoyed that I haven't sold my house yet. I've had a few nibbles on it, but nothing concrete yet. Would you believe, read this morning in terms of Dubai, I think rentals have gone up 26. Again, this is just Dubai. I know the global economy is rentals have gone about 26%. It's had the best year in terms of sales, house sales. But yeah, for me, I'm wanting to get involved, because I think that equity in the house is so much better placed into this S&P. I really do. So hopefully I can get that sold at some point soon. However, technicals, for me, if we do get a push, some pushment to the upside, that would look pretty good. As I said yesterday, London and US yesterday was important, today's important, up to the end of the week is important, because we'd like to see a push through these highs, in which case you'd expect the market to come test that 4,300 area. So I've gone a bit more slight risk on. We're seeing the yen come off a wee bit. We're seeing the commodities strengthen up a wee bit. Again, it's not an exact science here, but I do like where this market is. I do like it. So S&P 500, I'm expecting a break above here, possibly towards the end of the week, possibly. I think retail sales came out yesterday pretty good, right? A pretty good beat yesterday in retail sales. I'm not sure what news we have today. Let me go and find out. And as I said, I think we've got jobless out of the US today, probably around US Open. Fully fed, PPI, that'll be interesting. PPI, I do like PPI's forward-looking indicators out just before US Open today. Yeah, they're up by a lot, right? A big beat. So that's what I said. I think as the market digests, they may seem to like this. I think it's ready to pop. I do. It's still looking good for me. Ready to move. Which is why I want to sell my house and get this money into the market, because I think it's so much better placed here. Anyway, from a trading perspective, I like where it is. I think it pushes through. Wait for that confirmation, obviously. Anything can happen. We can come up and bloop. We can do nothing. But my bias, and that's what I'm here to kind of give, my bias is that we push on. So, maybe looking at the yen seems to be coming off a little bit. Bit more risk on assets, a bit more confidence for a breakthrough, and this is the area we'll be looking at intraday here, a breakthrough to the upside. Now, I'm not saying everything is hunky-dory. Obviously, I'm not saying that. We know that it's not the case, but it does look pretty good. And as we saw from the Trump era and the last couple of years, markets, you know, have risen here when maybe they probably shouldn't have done to the same extent. Obviously stimulus, etc., comes into that forte, but yeah, this area is key for me. S&P getting a slight head and shoulders on the 4-hour chart. Market looks good. I've put this on my list, so I've got the S&P and the Dow Jones again on my list. It could have actually been an aggressive entry here. I don't know why I didn't see that. From your right shoulder here. Why didn't I see that? Ryan, why didn't I see that aggressive entry? Perfect Marabuzzo, coming on high volume. Entering there, maybe are you saying it's slightly close to level? Probably not, on that 20. So it's not bad. Anyway, I've not gotten involved in that aggressive, so now I've got to wait for this to accumulate, let that 20 period catch up a little bit. Obviously, I really like where everything is here. So in terms of an S&P position, today we are Thursday, possibly tomorrow, if we do get some accumulation here, maybe a slight reload back for a break above this area. So I know you posted this, Martin, right? You were looking at the S&P this morning, I believe. Trades. Same chart, US head and shoulders on the 4-hour. Yeah, it's exactly the same that I'm looking at. US 500. Yeah, S&P, right? Oh, yeah, again, technology, yeah. I agree with that. I like it. Movement to the upside makes sense for me. Again, I've got to wait. I don't understand. When was this? This must have been yesterday evening, so I probably wasn't on the charts, to be fair to me. But yeah, accumulation here for a break above in the S&P. I was reading the news on the Wall Street Journal now, but they say that it's just late Christmas spending plus the strong job market here keeps encouraging spending some more. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess you could be right there in terms of retail. You could be. It could be. But again, I just go with what I see, Martin. You know, I just go with what I see. And if this was any other pair, right? If this was EURUSD, if this was whatever it is, I mean, you know my kind of outlook, obviously, which is, it does have its flaws. I understand that. Nothing is perfect. I know my strategy has its flaws. I know my outlook and the way that I look at market has its flaws because I don't take into account all those fundamentals. But I just got to do what works for me, right? And if this was, like I said, if this was any other chart, I would be looking at that to get involved long. Absolutely, I would. So a bit of accumulation there in the SPA and the S&P for a break above. I kind of like. Now the Dow Jones, again we go into the Dow Jones, this for me is now a breakout order. You know, I know this could be third time lucky with this. We've got that V reversal, ABC, push on, now we've got getting that few bars of accumulation, 20 period catching up here. But because we've had that 2 days, I understand we had a fake out, that's fine by me, I don't mind that. But for me, after this stream, I'm going to place my breakout order in here. Now remember, for my new trade management, I go down 2 time frames, so down to the hourly, looking for the latest swing, latest anchor to place my stop. So right now it will be there, breakout roughly around that area. So I'll do that after stream. It's a valid setup for me. If we do come down here, remember, if we do come down here, create an additional swing, an additional anchor, again, I can increase my risk reward. Now, when I tested this, I forward tested this, my win rate did slightly reduce. However, the payoff ratio absolutely went up. So I understand on my previous breakouts, my stop would be all the way under here. Now I'm getting a little bit more aggressive. I still actually haven't, since I've employed my new trade management, got a winner on it. So I haven't reaped any benefits of this new trade management just yet, but it's only a matter of time. And I actually, personally, for some reason, I've woken up today and I feel a little bit more connected to these markets for some reason. I don't know why. I just feel like I like where it is. I could be completely wrong, but I just feel like maybe I know where this is going. Again, I could be completely wrong, eat my hat on it, I'm not going to put my house on it, but I just feel a little bit more connected to the markets this morning, which is a good thing, because I need to at some point. So wait at the break of the neckline. Yeah, you could look at the neckline. I mean, your neckline's here, right? That's technically your neckline for the head and shoulders. I'd be looking at a break here. If I get the price action that I like, I'm happy with a break here, just above that area that I've determined as the most significant zone. We're kind of getting a stall here in price action where I kind of think is most significant. I know we've got some, I mean, people might call that liquidity up here, but it depends on what you like, Martin. If you want to wait for a break of the neckline in terms of the head and shoulders, yes, that is technically, theoretically what you should do. For me, I'm happy taking the break above that zone. Your break of the neckline would be probably a more higher probability trade, I would say. But yeah, it's whatever your plan says, mate. Whatever your plan says. For me, I'm happy with the break of that zone that I've identified. Yeah, so as I said with the Dow Jones, I will put my order in after stream. I am certainly due a winner, and I'll be waiting and watching to see if I get an increased risk reward on this or a new anchor for a break above those highs in the Dow Jones. If I do, let's say I do lose that trade, that's okay. I won't be placing another order in it because if the breakout fails or we don't break out or whatever. You know, the setup definitely becomes invalid after that. So third time potentially lucky in the Dow Jones. One loss, one break even, and would be nice to finish off with a winner in that trio. Okay, watch list today. Aussie dollar, I'm not going to go into. That's still got some time to develop. Let's just look at it. So from a daily perspective, I'm getting what I want. I'm still getting what I want. Decent bearish day yesterday in the Aussie dollar. We're still looking for this to come down. Maybe we get that dynamic support off that 200 MA before we push on. Will that be enough for me to take an aggressive? I'd have to wait and see what price action looks like at that area. Potentially something like this, aggressive in here. Ultimately looking for a break up in Aussie dollar from that V reversal on the weekly. If we go into the dollar, actually, before I move on, I'm still thinking this is still in pullback mode. You know, not a bad day yesterday. Weekly, we still are in that steady state corrective, you say, in that dollar index. May need a few more weeks. You know, maybe 2 or 3 more weeks before we continue on down. Let's wait and see. There's no confirmation of that yet. But there is confirmation that we are still in that pullback, and probably better to wait on the dollar before I go out and say, well, let's sell it, or let's potentially look at buying dollar pairs here. So dollar for me is still in that pullback mode. Just be aware that the path of least resistance recently is to the downside. But the 4 hour looks good for continuation to the upside, but it may just be capped about how far this dollar can go or how strong it can get. But let's see. So as I said with the Aussie dollar, I'm hoping this does come down for potential aggressive, but still got some time before that sets up. Something that I do want to get involved in, just got to be patient with that setup. Euro Aussie. Euro Aussie is another one potentially on the daily. Looking at a head and shoulders here, I like the idea of buying the Aussie, certainly if the index gets some momentum. We've got our head and shoulders, we've got our smaller head and shoulders from our initial structure. Looking at this to come down, accumulate, let that 200 come up, so our break is underneath that 200 to take this to the downside. So from a weekly perspective, as I think we talked about with silver, I'm not sure if silver's here. So we talked about, if we do get that confirmation of a break, then you've got your confluence from higher time frames in terms of that weekly head and shoulders and a break underneath structure. So if we do get that, I'd be happy to take Euro Aussie to the downside, but need a little bit more in terms of that daily accumulation. Get down and tag that area. Always like multiple tags of an area. I always use this analogy of the police come into your door and banging on it, you know, with that big thingy. Every time they bang on it, the door gets weaker and weaker and weaker. That's essentially what I'm looking at, and that's why I like multiple tags on the area. And you combine that with a kind of squeeze or Dow theory, lower lows or higher highs, whichever way you're looking. Again, that adds confidence for me for a potential decent move when it breaks a significant area. So that's essentially what I look for in terms of my breakout. But I would like this to come down and tag that area to complete this structure before we get that accumulation or possibly additional structure before breaking to the downside. USD SEK was another one I was looking at. USD SEK, I've been looking at this for ages. So we're kind of coming to create a possible third structure or a third V-reversal here. Got our outside bearish engulfer. Need this to come down. Again, looking at that squeeze into the area before breaking to the downside. But that has got a little bit to go. So I'll leave that for now. Right. Did I go too quickly there? I'm not sure. I kind of felt on a little bit of a roll there. So Aussie dollar bit to go. USD SEK bit to go. Euro Aussie bit to go. Dow Jones is the one for today, and the S&P is potentially a one for tomorrow if I get the price action that I'm looking for. But these I do like, I have to say. My gut is telling me the checklist is almost there. It's there in the Dow Jones to look at taking that break if it does push above. And you know, you'd expect if it does push above the S&P to kind of go with it. Sorry, brother. No problem. Once again, your bias on the AU. Sorry, yeah. I think I went through all the pairs quite quickly. Then apologies, guys. Okay, so what's my bias on AU? So 4-hour perspective, we are getting that reaction off this area. Okay, probably expect that. Again, remember, markets are made up of people. They see the reaction we've got at this area a few times. You're expecting some support buyers coming in. So what we'll have to wait and see for in terms of the 4-hour is where are we going from this latest movement. So if we zoom in, right, our latest movement is here, certainly on smaller time frames. Okay, move to the downside, we're in our corrective. Now if we're taking this as initial structure, yeah, we're coming up to, you know, the moving averages here, an area of dynamic resistance to price. You know, are we going to push down from here? Are we going to get sellers coming in? We have to wait and see, right? So at the moment, it's not confirmed. So again, at the moment, we're in pullback mode from this impulse. Let the market tell us what it wants to do. My bias, as I said, my bias from a daily point of view is that possibly we continue on down, which would make sense from a dollar index point of view because we're expecting possibly another week or two of pullback, in which case I'll be looking at long in the Aussie dollar if we do come around somewhere here, potentially an aggressive entry or something like this, entry in here or a breakout. So that, will that be my bias? I would say this is what I want to happen, right, Martin? This is what I would need to happen for me to take a trade in it, right? So that doesn't mean I think this is going to happen. But if I look at the daily and say bias would be from here, ABC in, decent bearish day yesterday, where the dollar is, maybe we do push down. But if the markets are looking okay, will the Aussie benefit from that? In terms of a risk-on sentiment? Yeah, it could be. So I think if you're looking intraday, you've got to be looking at this 4-hour, potentially the 1-hour. I mean, you can see here, which is what you get a lot of times, right? If you see this, we moved down here, but not ready to go because I don't think this was digested enough, personally. I know we had the 20 catch-up, but from a price action point of view, I don't think it was digested enough to go yet. And that's what you see, you know, a lot of times. You know, you normally get a slight fake here before we come back up. But I think looking at that 4-hour is your best bet, and let the market kind of tell you. Let the market kind of tell you what it wants to do. Are we going to falter from here and come back down, which recent price action suggests, or do we push on? So, yeah, my bias for right now would be just waiting for that confirmation for me in Aussie dollar. Okay, let's go into the ones you sent on the group, and then I'll go into the funding company you said, funded trader program. Okay, US dollar, Japanese yen. Yeah. So I believe they're out. I've closed down investing, but I believe it's prior to US Open, right? Okay, USD JPY triangle exhaustion with multiple touches at key level, 20 MA accompanying the move, fib retracement levels lined up, plus news coming at 5:30. So you are looking at. So what are you looking at here, Martin? So if you're taking your, I'm just trying to see where your dollar long. Okay, so you're looking at pullback on the latest impulse. So let's look at USD JPY. So for me personally, my fib would be here, from here to here, the latest impulse, right? This is, if we zoom in, sorry, let me zoom in. So from a 4-hour perspective, right, I'd probably have my fib here, hitting that 61, right, and then the latest impulse I would have from here to here, right? That's how I would fib it. Now remember, with your fibs, it is kind of a discretionary, no, what's the word? Subjective tool, because some people may take it from there. I think that's probably incorrect because we've had our swing. So my fib would be from here, this area. So if you're looking at it coming back down, potentially, I mean, I like the long bias, firstly. Entry around 13325. 13325, so that would be so in terms of a fib perspective, I guess it's around the 38.2. Okay, yeah, don't mind that from a fib perspective. From a daily perspective, yeah, I like the bias of this dollar. Again, we have to be aware of this price action, right? We do have to be aware. However, in saying that, my bias would be that it goes a little bit long. We've kind of broken away from what we've had recently, and we all have to say we still are in pullback. I know from a daily perspective, you can say, well, we've broken structure here. We're looking at breaking this latest anchor. Yeah, we can change trend, right? But from a weekly perspective, we're still in pullback. From a daily perspective, I like it long. Maybe we get some resistance here. Maybe we've already got it. 1 second. Right, this area here. So we're kind of at this section. So you're probably expecting some resistance to price around here, which is what we're getting. And but nothing at the moment really worrying me, right? So if you're looking at it as a pullback entry from here, yeah, I like that. So I like the bias. Yeah, will we? And you're kind of coming back to these highs, right? So if you're looking here, back at these highs, 3-3, yeah. I like the idea, Martin. I like the idea. So USD JPY long. If it tells you it wants to go long, again, I always wait for confirmation that. Some people don't like that, some people do. It all depends on what you like and what you have tested. But I like waiting for, you know, a bit of volume coming in, a bit of confirmation there for continuation, you know, kind of similar to here. So have we got some volume coming in around here? So you're kind of getting volume. See how you're getting volume at the end of this pullback. And yes, you could say, well, is it Asia into London or kind of that area? Is it news? But ultimately, you're still getting volume as the market pushes on. So you're kind of wanting something similar, you know. I mean, ideally, you'd get something like this. in a perfect world, volume coming in, that for me is a good indication. But yeah, I like the buys. I like the buys USD yen long. Still looking at this pair, but I am torn between waiting on rejection of the 50 level or if it's consolidation before a push up after the trend line break. New Zealand yen. New Zealand yen. I like that price action. You know, I always say in terms of channels, right? Channel breaks. When you get that push and that, I mean, what essentially you're kind of getting here is your possible squeeze, right? Or is it not your rising wedge? Is it? No. I mean, you're kind of essentially getting your wedging structure there, right? Which looks good and in theory dictates it should move to the upside because of where it's coming from, smaller time frames wise. Consolidation after the break of trend line is something you mentioned last time. Yeah, I mean, I don't play it, Martin. I don't play it. I don't trade it. It's just something I kind of like to see. It's something I was, you know, this is certainly something my mentor kind of taught, saying when you get a push through in that kind of price action like this before you go, it's usually a good sign for movement to the upside. Usually, not always. But, yeah, I like where this is. We have to remember, right, where we are on higher time frames. Right, so there's a little bit of worry. I like New Zealand yen to the upside. You know, have you got your confluence here? Nice big bullish bar. We're on that 200 on the daily. From these bars, right, these big movements, right, you're probably expecting, you know, from bars like this, you're probably expecting a few days of consolidation, right? And if we look at these bars, we're getting rejection here, right, from a daily perspective. So if we can break above, it would look good, right? It would look good. Buying New Zealand, you know, I like the idea. Certainly, if you break above that in the indexes of buying the Kiwi against the yen. We're testing this 200 for the third time now. Again, if you look at it here, testing the 200 for the third time now. Well, actually, probably more than that. I mean, are we going to fail? I'd worry if we kind of do this, because there's that difference between, as I said, accumulation and you know, just basically the market failing to breach an area. But it's not at that point right now. For me, I want price to tag the 84.6 area and show me wants to continue to go up. 84.6. Yeah. I like it. I do like it, Martin, I have to say. I can't trade it. It's obviously not tradable for me, but I do like the bias of New Zealand yen to the upside. You'd probably expect it to test this area, right? You probably would expect it to test this area, right? It's kind of, these areas are obviously kind of magnetic for price. And with what you're seeing from here, you'd expect that. Or I would expect that. May not happen, but I would expect it to happen. So yeah, New Zealand yen to the upside. If you're looking in terms of a trade, so I haven't seen what your actual trade is, or if you're actually just looking at a breakout order, yeah, would make sense. So I like the bias of USD yen, I like the bias of New Zealand yen, and I like the bias of S&P. So it's completely opposite from these ones where I didn't like these biases, but I like all these biases today. Not saying that I'm going to be right at all, but I like the biases and I like what you're looking at, basically. That makes sense? I need to stop buying this. This is terrible. This is my guilty pleasure. So I bought a 6-pack of Coke, and this is fat Coke, not Diet Coke. But You know, it's just, yeah. Can I add USD CAD to it? USD CAD. USD CAD is a funny one because it's something I wouldn't mind shorting. I just worry about that ABC, albeit it's not a nice ABC. So from a daily, again, from a daily breakout, this is now coming up. We're potentially getting, I mean, potentially this, which would be nice to come down, break to the downside. The only thing I worry about with USD CAD is that, right? Which goes against my dollar bias, really. And, you know, don't get me wrong, there's part of me that really likes the potential of USD CAD short. There is. And from an ABC perspective, it's not a nice ABC. Right? It's not. Yeah, no. Agua. So here, that's my only worry. And with where I am, but I would not be surprised if this pushed down. So it's just that weekly for me in USD CAD that is kind of has a little bit of doubt in my mind on if I like it short. But there's no doubt that I like this. I do like this. So maybe we do this before breaking down. But it's a hard one, USD CAD right now. It's a difficult one. You got your evening star here on that 200 coming down. Here. It's difficult, USD CAD, Martin. Daily looks potentially short, but in, you know, potentially an ABC. I'll sit on the fence on that one, Martin. I'd rather wait for it to develop a little bit more before I give an accurate bias, to be honest. Okay. The last thing I wanted to look at, if you wanted me to look at, oh, you've got it here, sorry. Sorry. So you're looking short. Yeah. But again, you've got to get that out of your mind, right? That because I could be looking at Dow Jones and be worried that I get stopped out on certain news, right? Like I got stopped out of break even, but essentially like I did here. But that's the thing, we've got to take the fear of losing out of it. I'm not sure if this is what you're saying, but and just execute our plan, right? Just execute without emotion as we continue on, and that's what I'm doing with the Dow Jones. I could be worried that it's number 3, and I'm not going to get anything out of it in 3 trades, but I still like it. Aggressive was valid here. Aggressive was valid here. Now breakout is valid. So yeah, I understand what you mean, and I'm not sure if that's what you're saying, but if it fits your strategy and you like it, you know, you got to take it. You got to take it, because the ones that I found this before, when I was a bit worried about losing money, what's going to happen, right? Let's say you don't take this out of fear and it fits your strategy, and then it goes, boom. There's no doubt about it. It usually does that, right? I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but for me, certainly in the past, the ones that I didn't take, when I should have taken them, and the psychology stopped me from taking them, big winners. And then you get more frustrated. So yeah, I get what you mean. But USD CAD short bias, yeah, I don't mind it. Okay, let's have a look at this then. I like it, but also learn to stop jumping into trades and wait for confirmation. Yeah, so I'll wait after the 6 AM candle for me to decide. Yeah, okay, yeah. I do like, again, there's flaws of confirmation, right? Because your risk reward is not as good, but I do think the confirmation, you win more trades. So it's all that payoff. It's like the strategy payoff. You've got a smaller risk reward, you're probably going to lose less, but you're going to make more when you win, right? It's all that kind of circle of People like to tell you there's something out with here and here's the holy grail. It doesn't exist. It does not exist. Okay, let's look at this. The funding. I want to have a look at this because I've not actually looked at it. And I believe Trader Nick was. I'm sure Trader Nick was maybe has a partnership with these guys, but I'm not too sure. Okay, traders can unlock up to 6. So this is the first time I'm looking at this, by the way. So I just kind of want to go through it. Up to 600k accounts to earn profit. Okay, take our challenges. Okay, so it's a challenge. Up to 600k, Royal, Rapid, Standard. Alright, let's have a look at the Standard. Oh, I can't do that now. Okay, so they're pointing me towards Royal. When you check the challenges, they actually have a table compared with FTMO, do they? Oh, here we go, okay. Comparison, account size and model, 100k standard challenge, 100k price 549 plus 570. I guess with your 15% off. Maximum drawdown 6% daily, 12%. Oh, you get an extra 2%, okay. 80-20, minimum trading days 3-10, okay, good. Valuation, 2 phases, yeah. 35 and 60, okay. Targets 10% and 5. Hold trades on the weekend, yes. Okay, so the difference here is we've got an extra 2% and a slightly better price. And then they've got 8% here. Oh, this is standard, sorry. Okay, this is standard. So this is Royal. You must achieve a profit target of 8% while maintaining the 5% daily and 10% overall drawdown. So the difference between the Royal and Standard is you only need 8, but your drawdown is 10. Okay, so I see what they've done there. Once you successfully you'll receive your phase 2 account with 24 hours. Okay, fine. Achieve 5%, 10%. Okay, so that's the same. 90% profit split. Okay, that's good. Your performance will be evaluated every 3 months, and if eligible, you can scale up. Okay, that's pretty good. I like that. I like that. So I mean, I guess it's. I mean, I wouldn't want to do this one. I don't think, right? So it's really between standard, so swing and regular account. Okay, I probably have to go into this in a little bit more detail, Martin, because they've obviously got a lot of options. But I guess essentially what you're looking at is standard. You get 12% drawdown and you need to make 10, and then your Royal you've got 10%. You need to make 8. I like this. I need to go into reviews because obviously we want to be the main thing with these companies is reliability, right, and getting paid out. So it costs $1,300 refundable. $1,400 for 300k. 4.8. I mean, that's not a bad price. 489 for 100k. 289 for 200 is 1,000. I mean, you wouldn't need to do 3 if they've got that scaling eligibility. You could you should be looking somewhere probably down here, right? In which case your $500 ain't that bad. But it's just about reliability. So I like looking at it, the basic idea of it. I don't mind it. I'd have to just. I mean, the Trustpilot seems to be good as well, right? 4,000 reviews, 4.5 stars. I mean, you wouldn't need to do 3 if they've got that scaling eligibility. You could Looks not too bad. Oh. Oh no. Okay, well, I don't know what that even means, so I'll take that away. Okay. The thing is with these bad reviews is sometimes you get traders that are just pissed off, right? That probably lost their money, right, and are just annoyed. Sometimes. Because at the end of the day, they've got 4,000 of them, right? 4,000, which is a lot of reviews. So you're going to get other people that are just annoyed. And I see this on the StockNet Discord about people just getting annoyed, and they're risking like 6-7%, and then they're annoyed because StockNet says you're gambling, which they are. So it's like, if you don't like it, go somewhere else. You know what I mean? Okay, I won't do this now. I'll go in there. I'll have a look. Into all the reviews and see what we can see. Okay. Anyway, all right. I'll look at that on another day, Martin. I'll look at that another day. Have to go into this, but maybe it's something you have to kind of try. You know, if you like it. You know, maybe the cheapest option, right? Kind of like what I did with stock. I just chose the 10K account because I wasn't sure, but they seem to be fine. So let's see. Alright guys, I appreciate you coming. If you don't like the video, like the stream, that would be appreciated. If there's anything else, let me know if there's anything else before I go. Anything else you want me to look at, let me know. If not, have a lovely day. Since I can play in dollars, what's the extra 1% in the days? Yeah. And you're getting a discount, right? You get a 15% off, so. No problem, I like it. It's always, I enjoy people asking questions, people coming on stream. It's more fun for me on stream when people are asking and involved. There's a ton of bad prop firms that seem fine, but once you get to the contract, not for yeah. There's a whole heap of terrible ones out there, right? You've just got to find the kind of diamonds in the rough. I mean, I don't think any challenges are in the trader's favor. I honestly do. But then you worry about instant funding firms, right? Because it's in terms of a business model, right? It's a great business model because you're doing something where 95% of people are bad at, right? So make no mistake, FTMO and my Forex funds make money from their challenges and verifications because very few people get through them, and that's not a bad thing. On a good traders will fail them, but yeah, some of the new ones coming up. The only thing that I'm not a big fan of is, you know, it looks a little bit like a gambling platform, you know, like you know, those kind of games you see. That's the only thing I worry about, is that, you know, this is serious money here, and we've got like swords and stuff. That's the only thing I don't really like about it. Yeah, it's madness, huh? Absolute madness. So you think about how much money they make, considering that is the data. It's unbelievable, and FTMO would make more. So FTMO, I mean, I don't even know what the challenges prices are. The 200K was around $1,000. but they probably get thousands a day, and that's not even probably an exaggeration. So, and then my worry about, yeah, and it's 14% of the 31%, right? So the actual numbers come down significantly as you go on. Yeah. Which is why, I mean, I'm hoping StockNet just holds up to the bargain. My issue with it, the only thing I don't like about it is being in the Discord is there's so many gamblers. You don't realize how many gamblers are in this market until you go on to a kind of separate in Discord like that. It's unbelievable how many, and I was guilty of it one day as well in the past, so I can't really speak of doing challenges before I was ready. But wow. You know, and in terms of, I've been actually looking at, I'm not going to go into that, but looking at in terms of instant funding about how they make their money, it's quite difficult, right? Because if you've got an individual, let's say you've got an individual that comes in and buys a 10K account and gambles and makes, which is $800, right? And gambles and makes $2,000, and they take that payout and then they lose their account. Like the actual funding company is down, is out of money. Then you can say, well, they're going to buy another account because they're addicted, so maybe they make it back in the long run. It's hard, actually. I'd like to sit down and do an actual kind of business plan on an instant funding and how they actually do it. But, anyway. And P3 payout was 4% of that, so 31 to 40, yeah, correct. 4% of 14%, the numbers are tiny, tiny. Absolutely tiny. Funding should always be a means to an end, means to an end of somehow getting your 20, 40, 40, 50k, 100k into your own account, as long as you're profitable, right? Yeah, I'm probably up there, mate, honestly. On my FTMO, when I wasn't a profitable trader, I was lost a lot of money just buying. It was very silly of me, to be fair. Yeah. Alright, oh, well done, mate. Well done. Yeah. Yeah, it's massive. We already had the big psychology in terms of trading, regardless of taking time, 30 days and 60 days into account, right? It's already a big psychological game, and then you add in the fact that you've got these time frames, which is why I've changed the giveaways on Simplicity Trading when we start to this StockNet account, because I generally think that is best for the traders that are in Simplicity, good traders or traders that understand the realities, rather than the FTMO. So I used to give away 50k FTMOs. I prefer giving away a StockNet, to be honest. Yeah, this is my StockNet account, mate. So I've grown this one from 10k to it was up to 175, and obviously I'm in my drawdown now. So I'm not sure if this is your first time on my stream. If it is, I appreciate it. You come in, so I'll show you my FX book. So I started here with a 10k account in April last year, and I managed to grow this up to the 175k. The 175k account, and now I'm in my unfortunate drawdown for the last few months, where I'm trying to get out of it and scale up to the next one, which I think is 350. So. Again, these numbers are skewed because it doubles your account every time. Just the market, mate. Just the market. It's been tough for me to get over an hour. Yeah, I mean, I had a relatively stagnant period here for a few months, and then a great few months. So that's just my trading. That's just my trading, mate. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. It's difficult at times, but I just have to get out of it, and I will. Just got to be patient. Hopefully the Dow Jones will be my winner that I need to get a little bit of movement to the upside. Anyway, guys, I better go because I've been on for an hour. I've been on for an hour. I appreciate you coming in as always. I do like everyone chatting. It's always a lot better for me, but I appreciate you all joining. And I'll be on the same time tomorrow. Right, guys, have a lovely day. Remember to trade safe. Peace.